Hello, everybody. A little bit early, a little bit earlier this evening. Um, just I was ready. So, here's happy Friday. Just wait for anybody to come in. Baby Taylor, how you doing, sir? Hello, Mr. Taylor. I've been to Bell's Mill today. Seamus is in the house. I'm seeing Seamus very, very soon. I'm really excited about this. Seamus, as I say, bit busy this evening. I've been doing some more 5 Minute Friday stuff, editing yesterday. Did you go today, Mr. Taylor? Oh yeah, I went to Bell's Mill yesterday, mate. I put the drone up, so I got some drone footage. I caught an absolute bucket load of fish. I was catching them up in the water, down in the water, in the margins. I had a barbel. I had loads of sort of bream. I had loads of carp. Oh, it was an amazing day, absolutely amazing day. But I tell you, I was a bit disappointed, Mr. Taylor. The calf wasn't open, so I couldn't have a sausage and egg sandwich. But yeah, Seamus, absolutely can't wait. Can't wait. What I'm thinking, yeah, no, the calf wasn't open. It doesn't open on a Thursday, apparently, Mr. Taylor. Seamus, what I want to try and do is if I can try and do Dojo's allotment. How you doing, my friend? It's nice to see you. Great stuff, great stuff. Oh, it's the usual crowd. I love this. I do. We've got a bit of a what's it? Bit of a group going now, ain't we? It's the same old faces. Anyway, I've got to say this before I forget. Seamus, when we come, we need to chat. So we need to give you my number, or I'll have your number, or whatever. But yeah, if you don't know, guys, me and Seamus are doing a collaboration on Wednesday. I'd like to try and get a couple of videos, mate, if we can. A couple of videos each, if we can. And then what I'll do is we'll synchronize and upload one at the same time, and then you can just put them up. Just put them up, sort of, the other one when we want. We're yeah, I'm so looking forward to it. But I need you to we need to chat because I need to know what I need to bring. To be perfectly honest, I've got a spinning rod and a spinning reel. Um, so, but I don't know whether you want me to bring all those soft jelly baits I've got or whatever. They're old. I've got to be honest with you, they're really old. Come on, guys, tell me what you've been up to this week. Dojo, what's been going on? Mr. Allotment Specialist, I should imagine you're. Sorry, mate. Let me just turn the dryer off. Right, on its course. So, yeah, Mr. Taylor, me and you have been to Bell's Mill this week. Had a great, great day. I was talking to John, and he's had a good one as well. Oh, wow. Oh, Andreas is in the house as well. Hello, hello, Andreas. Just the man. Going to start doing a lot more underwater stuff now. I've got the drone above. I've got the camera to go underneath, and I've got one that sits on the top of the water. So I've got everything covered. Everything covered now. So nice to see you, Andreas. Thanks for coming in, mate. Yeah, sorry, Mr. Taylor, I wasn't there today, but as I say, I was there yesterday. It would have been lovely to have seen you. Was you with your granddad or your dad? Brilliant. Well done, Seamus. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. Yeah, I'd love to meet your granddad, my friend. Love to meet your granddad. Right. Oh, and then your dad turned up as well. I understand. Just tell me again, Mr. Taylor, how old you are, because I know they're doing a competition at Bell's Mill, doing a juniors competition. I don't know if that would be something that you're interested in. True North Anglers in the house. Greetings from Canada. How you doing, my friend? You all right? I love this. like just talking to people from all over the world. Lots of them are pretty local to me, but then you've got all these guys all over the place. Oh, it's brilliant! Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I'm going. I don't know if you missed that, but I'm going over to see Seamus in the next few days, and I'm really looking forward to that. That should be a lot of fun. So absolutely great. Nice to see you guys. Few things I'd like to try and have a chat about this week. Some of the guys who are further afield, it might not sort of apply to you guys, but I was very interested to see that our close season over here, they've decided to keep it the same. They're dying to they sort of decided that they're not going to change it at all. So the river season is still going to be from March to June closed, even though the majority of the people wanted it sort of either made smaller, shorter, sorry, not smaller, weird, shorter in what's it from April to June, which isn't much, but it just stops people fishing on the rivers. I think that's stopping people going as well. So right, let's have a look. Right, let's have a look. Did you like the video from Willow Marsh? Those fish were lumps. They were big fish, and it was big fish after big fish after big fish. We've Me and Spartacus have sorted out now. We've got a weighing sling, and we've got a decent set of scales, because the scales we had were the yes, get coffee, because the set of scales we had was ridiculous. All it was they only went up to £13, and every single fish that I weighed probably out of the 15 fish that I had, I weighed 12, and all of them bottomed out at 13. So I can only genuinely say they were £13, but some of those were like 16, £17, and it was bang, 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 one after another. I think you're right there, Seamus. Seamus is saying about the kind of like the closed season, as it means, as I mean, they can still fish rivers, but only for trout and salmon. It gives people a chance to broaden their horizon and pick up a fly rod. That would be good, but I don't think a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people sort of have the chance to get to those kind of rivers, if you know what I mean. I know where you live that you can pick up a trout in that brook and whatever, but a lot of people, I don't think they do. I don't think they do it. So excuse me while the what's it? Gamer TV, how you doing? Never fear, Bish is here. Oh, thanks for dropping in. You're going to watch Andreas's videos, baby Taylor. Andreas, I think you've got a fan there. Mr. Taylor, you'll love those videos. You'll absolutely love those videos. Yeah, everyone, check out everybody else. We're not in the game of all that let's sow, let's grow, and all that kind of thing. But please have a look at other people's channels that are in the stream, because the people that are in here have got some cracking channels. They really have got some good channels, and like they all sort of know what they're talking about. So interesting, Mr. Taylor as well. If you don't know, Baby Taylor is a young lad who's just getting into his fishing, goes with his granddad and his dad, smashing little guy. And as I say, everybody in this stream, I just love it. Absolutely love it. Sorry, that's me knocking the table. Stop. It gives the coolest fish a break as well. Spawning is stressful enough, especially the barb, which stress easily. You're right there, mate. With the barbel, did anyone see on the? I don't know. It was just our local news, but they've just released. I think it's about 400 barbel between 8 ounces and a pound into one of the local rivers, just to give them a bit of a head start. Funny enough, I caught a barbel on. Well, it was yesterday. today Friday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Caught a barbel yesterday. Absolutely flew off. Totally different bite to anything else. But the thing with commercial barbel is because they're not fighting a river's current all the time. They're not as strong and they're not as aggressive. The take was aggressive and he shot off like he was like a bat out of hell, and tried to bury himself in the foliage, but it wasn't very big, pound and a half, if that. And I managed to pull him away because I didn't have a really strong elastic on that one. Um, but no, absolutely cracking day yesterday at Bells Mill. As I say, put the drone up, got some good shots of Bells Mill. I had a chat with John, smashing guy, the owner, and he does this brilliant fishing for kids. So the kids go and they can go for free. Kids go and they can go for free. And because he's got the calf and everything, the parents that go, they tend to buy like a cake and a coffee and something. So he's making some money from it, but he's also introducing the kids into fishing a commercial fishery, and a nice commercial fishery as well. That's well looked after. He's got some cracking fish in there. It is a brilliant idea, Seamus. And they've got professional coaches. They've got proper accredited coaches. So the kids sit there. True North Angler. You probably have never seen this before, but if you see my videos where I use the elastic that comes out of the end of the pole, because it's not predator fishing type of thing, so it's basically mine's a sit and wait and sort of put a carpet of bait down. You wait for them to take using a float. So the kids sit there on the box with an elasticated pole. The guys sit behind them and just teaching them and watching them and everything, giving them a few pointers and everything. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's free of charge as well. If anyone can get there, it's absolutely brilliant. I've just been saying to Mr. Taylor about trying to get in on the competition there, because they're doing a junior competition as well. So they're having a whole day of like training and whatever, and then in the afternoon they're having a sit down competition for the. I think they've got to be under 16, so it should be pretty good. I'm not sure. Mr. Taylor. What you might have to do, I think it's in a couple of weeks, but it might be worth your dad or your granddad just giving Bells Mill a ring just to see. Because I think if you've been a few times, you've got that little bit of extra. Right, so it'd be nice to go somewhere where you can fish. Oh, Seamus, if you do, please let me know, and I'll make sure I'm there. And me and Athena can do a collab. She can teach me about the about the nature and stuff like that. But if anyone's not seen Athena's channel, Seamus's young daughter, she's the most beautiful little kid in the world. She's got such a lovely way about her. She loves nature. She's not one of them kids that pick up a frog and scream, or pick up a fish and drop it because she don't know what she's doing. Absolutely brilliant. She's a credit to Seamus, to be honest. And she's got her own little channel now. So please check out Athena's channel. Seamus, just put up a link if you can get one, mate, and we'll see if we can get a few more subscribers for her, because it's a cracking channel. It really is. And she put Seamus to shame. Seamus to shame. She does put Seamus to shame. But just very quick. Went to Bells Mill yesterday. On the 5-minute Friday video that I've put up today, while I was there, I just did a thing. I was talking about watercraft today. Next week is maggots. I've already done that one. I'm doing some close-up macro photography of some macro video, in fact, of maggots and the ways and stuff. But no, that should be quite good. But yeah, Seamus, that'd be brilliant. And then we'll see if you do that, and we'll see if Steve can get there as well, because it's not far from Steve, I don't think. With his girls, what a day out that'd be. We'd make sure the calf was open though, really, to be honest. What I'd do, I think, is if you did, and Steve bought his girls as well, or managed to bring one of the girls or whatever, I wouldn't fish, and I'd just film, and we'd have a that'd be a great day. That would absolutely great. Liking the idea of that. So I've got loads of things coming up soon. You got a new fish tank, a Thea tank. Yeah, I thought you meant fish tank. Yeah, it'd be really good. And especially, I mean, if we could organise with, I wouldn't want to do this just through Mr. Taylor. I'd like to speak to his granddad or his dad first, so we can make sure we all got there together. That'd be brilliant. Excellent, excellent. As I say, please, guys, try and what's the? Just tell us what the name is. It of it is Seamus, and we might be able to find it. Yeah, Mr. Taylor, if you fancy when we try and organise, we all go together. Obviously, make sure your dad and your granddad, or your dad or your granddad's there, and like we could all get together. That'd be brilliant. Athena's Adventures, it's called, guys. Please check it out because she's adorable. Uh, I don't know where Seamus came up with such a lovely girl, but there you go. But no, cracking channel. Check it out. Yeah, so if we can organise something together, that'd be great, wouldn't it? We could have a great day. Or we could have a they call it a knock up down here. All right, Mr. Taylor, thanks for coming in. Absolutely brilliant. As I say to your dad and your granddad, if we do organise something all together, you could come to Bell's Mill, and we'll have a great day. And we could have a thing called a knock up, which is just the few of you can get together, and I could have a word with John, and we could see if we could have some keep nets. We could have a weigh in at the end, only on a Friday. That's fine with me, mate. It's just whether Seamus could do that, and Steve could do it. So, but no, yesterday went to. Okay, mate, no problem. See you later, my friend. Um, Yeah, yesterday I had a brilliant, brilliant day's fishing yesterday. Caught loads and loads of carp. Boy, he's got loads and loads of fully scaled mirrors. They're all about. I didn't have anything big out of this pool. John's got this. This is specifically a match pool. So he hasn't yet. There are some lumps in there, some big, big fish in there, but they're very few and far between because all these really big fish are in the specimen lake. And as I say, there's a Bell's Mill drone video that's worth a watch. Just to watch that, the guy didn't put any music on, which I thought was strange. So it's completely silent. Um, so no, it's pretty good though. So cheers, guys. Yeah, so it's if you do come in, just hit that like button for me. I think I'll hit it myself in a bit. Go on then, give us a topic, mate. There's only me and you here, I think. Come on then, Seamus. Let's have a debate about something. I'm up for this today. Go on then. Talk faster, Seamus. Come on. You've piqued me interest now. I tell you what, I've not done this week. I've not watched a lot of videos that I've subscribed to. So I've not seen. I think Steve's got a new one up. Black Country Piker. I think a couple of other guys have got them up, and I've seen. But I'll catch up on those tomorrow. I think that's what I tend to do. Uh, Dad yesterday, I forgot to tell you this. Dad yesterday caught a orange carp. Doesn't look like a koi at all. It's not the shape of a koi. It's the shape of It's the shape of a normal common carp. Oh, Adrian, how you doing? My little bit of peace is here as well. Hello, everybody. Thanks for dropping in, guys. Adrian's in the house. Uh, this isn't Adrian's channel, by the way, that I watch. They've got a channel for match fishing, and that is brilliant. Again, that's another one I've got to catch up on. I've noticed the new one's gone up. How are you, little bit? My little bit of peace. I saw the that bucket things. That's another video I haven't seen. I saw it come up and I thought, oh God, I'll have to watch these. So I'll have to catch up on all my videos. I've not watched any really this week. Seamus is saying, what do you think about a lake where you can take coarse fish home for consumption, as is run like a trout fishery? That I don't know if you know, Seamus, but there is a couple of places where you can do that with carp. Um, the likes of me and possibly Adrian would say uh, would I don't know about you, Adrian, but I'd find it difficult to knock one on the head. Do you know what I mean? I'd find that quite difficult because I spend most of my fishing life trying to protect them and put them back in. But on the flip side, I think it's a pretty good idea. I think it's a pretty good idea. Um, I mean, you could fill it full of decent sized perch. Um, yeah, I'd find it hard with new agent. But the guys in Australia, uh, the guys the guys in Australia, they don't eat the carp that they catch because it's an invasive species. People like Robbie Fishing and RJK, they sort of leave them on the side. Adrian Fishman doesn't, uh, because I think in the state that he's in, they're allowed to put them back. Excuse me. But it's an interesting one that is, shown us, to be honest. Yeah, they were, weren't they? Adrian's just saying that they were originally brought to this country as a food source. I know that I think it was the Romans that introduced them, and a lot of monasteries had carp pools, and that's how a lot of them escaped into rivers and into other ponds and things like that. Yeah, I think you're right, Seamus. I mean, it'd be fun to catch and cook, or even how about this one? Just to expand it slightly. How about this one where you go to a fishery, you catch the fish, they gut it for you and fillet it for you, so you've got your fillet, and you've even got a chance to barbecue it on site. It's just it's an idea, and then maybe the fishing becomes more of a family orientated thing rather than just us old guys. Sorry, my little piece, but I'm saying us old guys, us guys going fishing and sitting on the bank all afternoon, uh, being curmudgeonly and old. And whatever, and it liven it up a little bit. You could take your family with you. Um, Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right. If we did catch anything, but I think that's the thing. That's the price you pay. Um, I think fishery wise, it'd be quite lucrative for the fisheries because what they would do is they'd fill a lake full of 2 and 3 pounders. Uh, yeah, it's the difficulty you would have, Seamus, is Adrian's made a good point there. It's not something that I've thought of. Still don't like he's Adrian's put still don't like the idea though, because I don't want to become an accepted thing here. Um yeah, because the problem would be people would it would become like the norm for people to take a car. See, I've known of places in the past where they've had issue with, especially when you can go and park behind your peg when you fish, where carp have been stolen or at night they've been stolen. Aaron, hello Aaron, how you doing? Gudging on toast sounds nice. Yeah, Shame, Seamus, Spartacus, Dad wouldn't go amiss with that. He catches enough gudgeon. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, it would be difficult. And as I say, they have difficulty trying to stop people taking live carp away. So a dead one would be a lot easier, obviously, because you could just kill it and stick it in a bag and stick it in the back of your car. I don't think I would take from a river too much due to the UK not being big enough and so forth. And yeah, if it's ran just like a trout fishery, and I agree with you both. Yeah, it is a difficult one. I'm sure there is somewhere. What I might do is Google one. I'll Google one in the week and see if I can find out if there is a place that does it. I'm sure I've heard of one somewhere. I know that Tesco's somewhere that have got I think a lot of Polish people living close by introduced carp onto their fish counter. I think there was a bit of uproar and stuff, but what it is what it is. A fish is a fish. But I'd find it difficult because, as I say, I'd like to. I've spent most of my fishing life trying to keep the fish safe and everything like that. I'm always because I don't know about some of you guys who do a lot of fishing. When you catch those really small perch, they tend to, because they are small, they've got to get in, dart in, and everything. They gobble it right down, and sometimes it is so far down that sometimes you lose those little perch. You can't save them, even if you take the hook, even if you cut the hook off, you can't save them. The really little ones. So let's have a look. Aaron, hi Bish. I'm not bad, thanks, mate. Hope you are too. Just popping my head in off to bed. Soon been since 4 a.m. Oh, good grief, mate. Thanks for dropping in anyway, Aaron. It's nice to hear from you, my friend. Really nice. Park my bike somewhere. As guardian adventures, the only freshwater fish I take is trout every now and then, and salmon when I get the chance. Yeah, trout wise, I've caught trout. I've caught trout just on little bits of bread in a. It was in a tidal stream. Excuse me. And I caught loads of, but it was catch and release. I just let them go. To be honest, but yeah, I would. My clock's wrong. It is actually. Yeah, it's fast. I mean, slow. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. It's fast. Yeah, it's fast. I keep the clocks fast because I live in. Sorry about this, my little piece, because you're not going to like this. But I live in a house of women. I'm the only guy in the house, so I tell them that's the right time, and then that way we can get out on time. I'm lying. They never get out on time. I always add half an hour and say we've got to be out by 8 when it's really half 8, and they're still not ready by 9, so it's a waste of time. But yeah, all the clocks in the house are different. So Adrian, back in the day when we used to kill pike, Mum used to make pike fish cakes out of them. I've heard, as shame as you might know this as well, and Adrian, obviously, because you've had them, that pike are pretty bony fish. And I can imagine that because of how long and thin they are, you just feel that there'd be a lot of a lot of bones in there. To be honest. Oh no. I bet you. I bet you. There's nothing in a house of boys. going off fishing because obviously Lynn's has come in, my little bit of piece has come in. So I'm gonna dedicate the next 5 minutes just to you, and you can badmouth the men, and I totally agree with you. To be honest, yeah, I bet you nothing's put away. I bet you nothing's put away. The toilet seats up. Um, they never finish anything. Um, what else would they do? Don't tidy the bedrooms. Do you know what? It's just the same as girls. I've got to be honest. Just the same as girls. My girls are terrible. Um, I've got one 18 and I've got one 13. The 18 one is going to university in a couple of weeks, but staying at home. So, um, which I'm pleased about. I've got to be honest. To be honest, I don't want to see them go. Um, but neither of them can cook. Neither of them can iron. So training, it's got to be. So as guardian, they are bony, but that's where you get 5 different bones. It's off a pike. Oh wow! But there is a way of getting 5 different boneless fillets off a pike. What is it? What fish is it? Sorry, my little bit of piece. Yeah, make a pep. Oh, listen, hang on. Before I address it as Guardian Adventures, you listen to this. You listen to this. Uh, we've got like a beigey carpet, sort of light biscuit colour type carpet, and one of them dropped mascara onto it. And instead of just trying to pick it up, they tried to rub it out. So now I have black footprints all the way up the stairs. We've got to get a new carpet. So yeah, don't worry about it. I love the fact that you're here. To be perfectly honest, thanks for coming in. Right, let's get back to Seamus and the pike. Seamus, what you're sort of quite up on this. There's a fish, there's a delicacy, and I can't remember what it is, and I think it's the cheek. So the cheek of a fish. Not that I thought they got them, but that sort of scoop of flesh or whatever is a real delicacy. It's what's the word? What's the word? Is it? It's not halibut, is it? Talk about anything. Puffer fish. No more look. I put it in my mouth, and that's what it puff up. I know halibut. I thought it was halibut, and well, apparently it's the most beautiful fish, like white fish and stuff. I do like fish as a meal. Um, we should do some kind of catch and cook. So I think I'd like to do a yeah, cod cheeks. I'm sure it's the same. I'm sure that there's the same kind of quality of meat. It's the best meat. Um, but yeah, I'll have to try a bit. I want to try different types of fishing. So that's why I'm going over to see Seamus next Wednesday. We're going to do a collaboration. We'll try and get about three or four picture videos done while I'm there with him. And as I say, it'll be personal best. If I catch any pike at all, it'll be a personal best. So, oh, 20 minutes. Allotment Life's in the house. How you doing? Mike's here. Everyone's turning up at the same time. Anyway, Allotment Life and Mike, we're going now. See you later. No, thank you very much for coming in, guys. You've not missed much, really. We've just been talking rubbish. We're talking about loads and loads of stuff. So, yeah, my little bit. I love fish, but I haven't eaten it any for ages as I get fresh stuff from the supermarket. Live worms so got put off. Oh my goodness. Thing is, though, if you cook it, they'll be all right. Bit of protein. Oh, I might pop down and see you. There'd be no way I'll pop up. It'd be. I there's no way I could get away with 5 days. Not unless I'm full-time user. Please subscribe, hit the like button. But no, that'd be the only way I could do that. But no, I'd be up for it. I'd be up to come up for a couple of days. That'd be brilliant. Um, my little bit of peace. I wanted to ask you this: are you going to Malvern? Oh no, no. No, couldn't do that. Having said that, I've just been saying I've just been doing a 5-minute Friday video, a little sort of snippet, hack, tips, all that kind of thing about maggots. So I've just been doing macro photography, really tight in photography of how to hook a maggot, how to kill a maggot so you can put it in a band. Adrian will appreciate this because you use dead reds on a banded hook when you for matches. Really, that's what it's for. It's for delicacy more than anything when you're fishing. So, too far. It's a shame. Would have been lovely. I know my family garden's going. There's a couple of other guys going. Trevor, new to the stream. How you doing, my friend? You all right? Nice of you to pop in. We're just having a bit of a chat about anything, anything at all. 4 or 5 hours away. Oh, yeah, it is quite far. So yeah, please join in the chat. Check everyone's channels out. There's some nice people in here, my friend. They're just nice people having a good chat about stuff. So just got home from work. Oh dear. What part of the world are you in, my friend? Mike, fishing this week, mate. Oh, awesome. Went to Bellsmill Fishery down in Stourbridge. Uh, totally different day than the other one, than the last one with the big lumps from Willow Marsh. This one, uh, particularly, what I wanted to do was get loads of different type of fish. I had bream, I had crucians up in the water, Adrian, up in the water, 18 inches down. I had bang, bang, bang. I had 6, 7 on the trot, and then they disappeared. But you see that on the next video. It's up on Sunday, hopefully. I had a barbel, I had bream, I had some tiny perch, loads of carp. He's got some beautiful, beautiful, fully scaled mirrors in there. Wisconsin, yeah. So, are you ahead, behind? No, you'd be behind if you just got in from work. Nice of you to pop in, my friend. Thanks very much for coming in. So, what are you into? What are you? You're obviously a fisherman if you've come over here. So, uh, Wisconsin, you got loads of lakes there, I should imagine. Right, where are we? Mike, I was fishing this week. I've told you that one. Absolutely brilliant, mate. Drop the drone up as well. So we've got video of the lake where we were fishing. Dad caught an absolutely stonking. Uh, it weren't a koi carp. It just wasn't a koi. It looked just like an orange, bright orange, like a huge goldfish almost. The cross between a goldfish and a common carp. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And as I say, you'll see on the video, a totally different day from the last one, where I was catching those 13-pound plus carp at Willow Marsh. This was like maximum was about £2, 2.5, £3, because it's a match lake that I was fishing. So I've gone. It's just because he was wriggling around in the packet. But my life, there's nobody fishing on my local stretch of canal. Everybody's terrified of the resident Canada geese. They can be a bit vicious, to be honest. They can be a bit vicious. It is pretty bad. Did you take it back with the wiggly worm? I'd find that difficult. I've got to be honest with you. As I say, I was doing macro photography tonight with maggots and stuff like that. So I'm not that particularly squeamish, but I suppose it could have been. But I thought Seamus, the shape of an orf, aren't they long, long and slim? This was a pretty deep. This was a pretty deep fish. This was. It was like if you imagine like a big goldfish should be. So this week, mate, I'm off to see Seamus Asgardian Adventures. I'm off there on Wednesday. So what I'll do is I'll drop Lib at work at about 7ish, and then what I might do is just jump straight on the motorway and try and get over to Seamus. But we need to discuss that. So I'm doing a couple of collaboration videos because I've never been pike fishing. So hopefully I'll catch some kind of pike. So if I do, they could, I think, Adrian, I think you're right with the goldfish. They grow to the size of where they are, don't they? Really, if they've got room, I think they grow quite big. So yeah, Mike. Sorry, going off. I was just sorry. I just do this all the time. But yeah. See, I thought they were quite slim. The Orth were. So there are species of carp. Yeah. So we'll have to. Maybe someone can tell me, like, guys, I'm not saying watch my videos, but if you watch that video, it'll be at the end because you're not allowed to keep net at Bell's Mill. But John lets me because obviously I do the video, so it's a bit of advertising for him. So he lets me just use it. Then at the end, I can put the fish together. So the crucians are caught. I put in the net together to show them off. Then I showed a few of the other fish and then put them back. But Adrian, I must have had the weight of that net. I must have had in that net alone £50, £60, and that was only a bit of what I caught. To be fair, it was a brilliant day's fishing. As I say, totally different to the other day. It was it was sort of it's what I wanted to do really. It's why I took maggots. It's why I had hard pellets. I didn't even get the corn out because it was pointless. I had some cubed meat that I cut up with the luncheon meat, which I cut up with the map thing, and everything. I caught on everything, to be honest, and so did Dad. We had a great day. So yeah, it was pretty cool, to be honest. I don't know, Mike. I am totally in Seamus's hands. Uh, when they start getting over a pound, they start getting fat like a carp. But it was a pretty fish, so it probably could have been. Trevor's telling us Wisconsin has many species in the areas to fish. I'm a bit jealous of you guys, really, because have you got? Do you fish off a boat, Trevor, or is it kayak fishing? I've always wanted to go kayak fishing as well. I always fancy that. Um, Thinking of doing that. Oh, Mike, don't talk about it so much. I'm not talking about it so much. I tell you what, Adrian, as well. I don't know if you caught it when I just said it earlier about the crucians. I decided because I don't fish shallow because there's no need for me to speed fish. But I just wanted to have a go just to see if I could do it. I was a bit out of practice. So I was fishing on the bottom. I was throwing pellets in, and the fishery micros dampened, throwing them in as almost like a ground bait. And because I was throwing it rather than cupping it, they come off the bottom. And I was getting lots of indications as the bait's falling through the water. I was getting lots of indications. I thought, well, let me just put it in. So I put a jigger float on, threw it out, and you'll see on the video it was bang, bang, bang crucians. I won't even have to edit that part. And as I say, at the end, I think I had about 15 crucians in the end, where I only put the slightly bigger ones. They weren't massive. They aren't massive there. But yeah, absolutely storming. Brilliant day. You've got to try and get there if you can. You don't see many of them, mate, and the ones you do are sort of half and half. They're not always true crucians, but these seem to be to me. These look bang on. They like the proper fins, proper. You know how you can see the lateral line on a crucian. Yeah, I'm a bit jealous of you guys, actually, Trevor, to actually drop your boat and then into the water and then fish from the boat and because I mean you can move around. You've got the choice. As I say, I don't know if you've seen any of my videos, but mine is basically sit, wait, and try and draw the fish to where I am rather than trying to find them. And also, it's because they're commercial lakes and run as a business. They're pretty heavily stocked, to be honest. For Adrian's other channel, he's a match man, so he fishes a lot of matches, and it's I love watching that, to be honest, because I'm pretty jealous. He's pretty jealous because of the I, being of an age that I am. Um, I'm not really a sportsman, but I really miss that sort of competitiveness. And I was watching the banter from the last match, not the last one because I haven't seen the last one yet, but the one before. And I was just thinking, oh, I'd love to see yeah, they were definitely Croatians, mate, definitely Croatians, bright orange. They got the king carp fin on the back, and no, they were definitely Croatians. You'll see them anyway on the what's it, so you can make your own mind up. Right, as Guardian, where are we? Mike, he'll be fishing on different stretches of the River Asgard. Yeah, no, definitely not F1s, mate. I had some F1s as well. See you later. Thanks very much for coming in. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, and thanks for the diversion because like we can get a bit sort of fish heavy on this, but we're going to be anyway, aren't we? Yeah, it was definitely a crucian, definitely a crucian. Um, Obviously, I'm thinking of different ideas for videos and stuff like that for the channel. So I am going to do a couple of open matches when I can. Um, but it'll be hit and miss when they are. It's not something I'll be able to plan, if you know what I mean. So what I might do is try and obviously because I fish every week, regularly fish every week. I'm pretty prepped up most of the time, so I've got me baits and I've got everything. The only thing I normally need to get is maggots and things like that. So um, yeah, I'm definitely going to do a competition. I don't know whether Spartacus is going to do it. I mean, I'll still take him, but I don't know whether he'll want to fish in the competition because he doesn't like it, to be honest. So. Mike, is that right then, Bish? If you're loose feeding with the hand instead of the pole pot, you're more likely to bring the fish up in the water. Uh, Again, I asked Adrian because he dropped me a comment saying that he missed the strain, and I wanted to talk about match fishing as well. But because Adrian fishes more that kind of fishing, he's probably better than me to answer that. Um, if you imagine when I fish, sorry, I need to get my arms up a bit. Right, there we go. If you imagine when I fish, I normally got my pole. I haven't got anything here that resembles a pole. I have my pole and I put a little pole pot on the top, put the feed in, take it out to where I want it, drop it, and I'm looking to try and keep my bait. I'm trying to keep my bait in an area of about that size. So basically, when I drop the pot in, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying not to make any noise and make it drop to the bottom. And on the bottom, that's how big an area I want my feed in. And then what I do is I drop my bait in, and hopefully it's in the mix. So it's a smaller area. The fish are competing in that area, and hopefully I'm picking up a fish. But if I'm throwing in and throwing loose feed in, you can well imagine it's a much bigger area. So you're talking a meter rather than whatever that is, about 10 inches round. I'm talking about a meter. Sorry, I'm mixing my lengths there. So um, about a meter. And when you're throwing it, it's hitting the top of the water. If you imagine fish from a lot of fish are coming from fish farms. They're not all bred in the lake. They're coming from fish farms. That's how they feed them. And the competition is massive. So they rise up to try and get that bait before it hits the bottom. So if I'm throwing in and then putting my bait in over the top, and I'm trying to fish on the bottom, as it's coming down, they're trying to grab it, or they're up in the water and I'm getting indications on the line and things like that. So that's why I try and tip my pot at the top of the water so it's not making a splash. It drops down, and then I follow it down with my pole after, depending on how deep it is. I time it. I don't know if you saw the one where I was fishing for perch. Um, what I knew how deep it was, so I threw my maggots in first. This is different because of their predators. So I threw my maggots in first, so I knew the maggots were on the bottom. Then I dropped my maggot in, and I knew by the count of six that there'd be a perch on the end of the what's it, and it really did work. That's at Wassell Grove. That was right. Let's have a look. Joe's Smokehouse. Normally, when I'm starving, he comes in. That is a brilliant channel, guys. Check it out. If you're hungry, don't. If you've got no way of getting to any steak, any food at all, don't watch his channel tonight because you'll be starving. Brilliant. Thanks very much for coming in, my friend. That's absolutely brilliant. Yes, mate. It's been ages. I don't do personal best fish. I just don't do it. I've never done it. I just know that probably the biggest carp I've had is about 18 pound on the pole, and I know I've had probably a pound and a half, £2 perch. I've had a decent, probably my biggest barbel was probably it's commercial barbel. I haven't had one out of the river, so it's going to be fairly small. So no, there you go. Yeah, yeah, and what I was doing. Agent, if Mike, if you look at what Agent's saying there, feeding by hand is more likely to bring them shallow. So you're bringing them up in the water. So as soon as I started getting those indications that there was something trying to either grab my bait or sort of hitting the line, so I was getting line bites as it was going down. I thought to myself, they're up in the water. I might as well try and fish up in the water. It took me a few goes. I tried 8 inches. I always try too shallow and go deeper rather than start deep and go shallow because you need to find out where they are in the water. And if you're trying down, you're going to pick up those fish that are at the bottom. You need to find out where they are. So start shallow, much shallower first, and then so you need a long line really to your pole, and then come down and come down and come down. In the end, I was about 18 inches deep, and they just bang, and they were on it every single time. You'll see on the video. It's a good thing about putting the videos up as well because you can see I'm not lying. I'm not lying. It's what's it? Um, yeah, that's yeah, down by Earlswood. Yeah, I'm thinking about that as well, mate. To be honest. Right, so feeding my yeah, it was the I have got shallow floats, which are like shallow. They're like a normal size float except smaller, so that they don't get tangled. But the jigger float I've got, really, I don't wait for it to go under. I just look for an indication on it and then I'll lift. It's not, you don't strike, you just lift. And normally, if the fish are there, you'll get them. And every single fish, I know I was fishing at the right depth, and Adrian will back me up on this. You know when you're fishing at the right depth because the fish, when you hook them, it's the middle of the top lip or off to the sides on the top lip. If you're getting them on the bottom lip or the bottom corners, it means that they're coming up or going down to your bait. So, but if you're catching them there, it means they're coming in. So if you imagine the hooks there, it means they're coming in side on and grabbing it. So you're at the right depth, and that's how I know I was at the right depth. It went quiet after a while, so I went back down into the edge, caught again a few, went quiet, and then I went out. This is why important to try and keep two or even three swims on the go. Um, I knew that there was stuff in the margins because I saw the indications, I saw the tails, and I saw the what's it. So whenever I saw that, I went down there, and then I went back out to the what's it, and I caught the crucians up in the water. I had about two or three bream, and they're the type of bream. I don't know if anyone else has seen this, where they jump out the water as well. Dolphin bream, I call them. Yeah, the thing about bigger carp on the pole is because you are fishing with elastic, you can only put a certain amount of drag on them. You can only give them a certain amount. And what tends to happen is on the bigger fish, they tend to go round in a circle, get tired, and then they go slower. And that's when you can sort of, if you can just get the heads up and they take a breath of air, you've sort of won then. But then you have to try and get the net to where they're swimming into. Yeah, I do use some crystal dibbers. They're the Drennan set. I bought all three in one go. Love them. I tend not to use them for shallow, to be honest, Adrian. I tend to use those in the margins. Tell you for why. Because they're clear. If I'm fishing slightly away from the edge, when they're looking up, because they're so close to them, because sometimes that you could be in that amount of water. So if I can make it so it's clear, I tend to have a longer line from the float to the pole, so that I can move the pole almost onto the to where the reeds are or where the bank is, so that it's not skyline, so they can't see it. So I move that over, clear dibber, and I'm just trying to outthink the fish. I've got to be honest, most of the time they beat me, but I don't use them. I don't use the crystal dibbers as a dibber float. Really, I use it as a margin float. I quite like the jigger floats because of that sort of, it just indicates, and you lift, indicate and lift, indicate and lift, and that's why I like it. As Guardian, as Guardian Adventures, I got to give you guys your dues because finding any huge fish on a pod takes some skill. I can appreciate that. Thanks, Seamus. Thank you. It's practice really, and knowing you've got to put your head sort of in a fish's head, if you like. And I have this thing of, I don't know whether it's I've got some kind of mental disorder or whatever, but I try and think, if I was a fish, where would it be? The watercraft one I put on tonight was is I genuinely think what I said in that 5 minute Friday video, that I genuinely think that when I look at, I walk probably three or four sort of pegs before I decide where I'm going to fish. And I'm looking for that clear bank on the other side where I know fish have undercut it, or I'm looking for lily pads, or I'm looking for the aerator, or I'm looking for reeds or an overhanging tree. It's different for Adrian and his brother because they take a peg out of the bag and that's it. That's where they've got to fish. So I have a lot of respect for match fishermen because they've got to make the best of what they're given. And sometimes you get a flyer, sometimes you get an absolute dog of a peg. And I've been there. I mean, when I used to fish, I fished Pool Hall, and I had the worst peg in the world. Everybody around me was catching little catfish, they were catching carp, and I was literally either side of me. They were catching loads and loads of fish, and I caught one perch. And I wasn't doing anything different than they were. It's just the peg was wrong. The peg was too shallow. I'm sure it was too shallow. I'm sure it wasn't me. But there you go. Anyway. Yeah, fish like a match fish and really fish. I think you would do well. I don't think I would, Adrian, because I don't know. I miss it. I've got to be honest, mate. I really do miss it. I miss that because I used to fish. I used to fish in a club. We used to meet by Junction 3 of the M5 on a lay-by 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning. Most of our matches were on Sundays. On a Sunday morning, I absolutely loved it. And like some of the guys wouldn't turn up because they were drunk or from the night before, from the Saturday night. And I'd think to myself, what's wrong with you? Not going fishing. No, I'm a person, but I've always thought it was more skillful to land a big fish on a rod than a pole. I've got to be honest with you, Mike. I think it's 50-50 because I think with a rod and line, because I fished up until I was about 30. I'm 54 now. Up until I was about 30, that I fished with a rod and line, and um, I never ever thought I'd fish with a pole. But as soon as I started using a pole, I absolutely loved it. I tell you what, I'm a little bit nervous about meeting up with Seamus on Wednesday with my flicking out skills with the rod. I've got a little spinning rod, 8 foot, I think it is, which will help, and a spinning reel. So thank you, Allotment Life, for coming in. Thank you very, 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 very much. Nice to see you. It's been a really lively chat, Mike. Adrian, see all the time in my vids. The big carp do a circle. They do a circle, don't they, mate? And there's no point. I think the difference between a rod and line and a pole, if you watch the Willow Marsh video, Dad puts a lot of strain on that fish, the first fish that gets away from him. But you can't do that with a pole. So I think you tend not to lose as many fish on a pole because if you're showing a certain amount of restraint, so you're not, because you can't pull. Basically, you've got to have patience. You've got to drop your pole in the water, because the lower you get the pole in the water, the less they seem to pull. They seem to be not as angry, if you like. So they tend to be a little bit calmed down a little bit, and they tend to swim towards you then. So then you can put a bit more side strain on. But I think you lose more on a rod and line, but I think you can certainly get much bigger fishing on a rod and line, much, much bigger. Um, what I'm going to do, Adrian, is I'm just going to explain what you mean by this. Adrian's just said we use the dibbers a lot when slapping shallow for F1s. So when you're fishing shallow, what you have is your float, whatever shot you've got, and then it's normally pellet because it makes a bit more noise. So you're trying to make noise. So what you do is you flick your float and your bait over, so you're making noise, and you're hand feeding as well. You're throwing out a few pellets, a few freebies, and then the fish are getting excited. They're competing, and then hopefully, as you bring them up into the water, they're competing even more. And F1's a classic for this, and I do the same. I'd a more sort of your natural bait, though I would say. But what Adrian's saying there is exactly what I was doing on at Bell's Mill. Um, when I set mine up, I don't know how Adrian does it, but when I set mine up, I have my float. Then uh, halfway between the float and the bait, I put a bulk of shot, whatever bulk of shot I need. So then I have got my float, my bulk, and my bait. So I have three. So what I do is I throw three pellets out at a time. It's just me being, it's just me having this psycho. I need analysing, I really do. But me thinking, I throw three pellets out. Then when I slap, my float, my bulk, and my bait. It's a set of three. So as that hits, it's a set of three. When I throw the pellets in, it's a set of three. Also, it's cheap rather than throwing out loads. But what I also do is I dampen 2 mil feeder pellets with these tiny little feeder pellets. I dampen those down and I sort of put them into like a golf ball size, but then I flatten it out, throw it in so that becomes a cloud going through the water. Then I slap. So every now and again, I'll throw one of those in. And the reason I do that is because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep that swim alive by, if the fish on the surface stop, that will get through to the bottom. Some of the pellets will get through to the bottom, so there'll be some fish on the bottom. And that's why I do that. But I always do it in threes. I always have done it in threes. Purely, I don't know why, but I think you throw three pellets out, you slap over three splashes, if you like, into the water, and they're going to get used to that rhythm. And you do, and Adrian will agree with me on this. I know I'm right in this, that you need a certain amount of rhythm to so that the fish are expecting that to come in. So you throw your pellets, have your pole ready. It's the benefit of using a pole because you haven't got to keep casting out. So have your pole ready, throw your three pellets out, let them go a little bit, then slap your three, and then you'll find that you'll get lots and lots of fish, lots and lots of fish. I won my fair share, mate. I won the as I say, I fished mainly in a club, but I won fisherman of the year. But yeah, I won the pole I used that I've got 10 top kits for. I won that as well. Um, yeah, you do take a chance. You do take a chance. Adrian's saying about big fish on a pole. Um, the way the way I got to be honest, I tend to they tend to pull the pole out my hand. That's how I lose them because I'm not concentrating because I'm trying to film. And you're probably, I know you don't concentrate so much on the film. You set it up behind you, and then you don't really mess about with it. But I'm always talking to it and turning around and watching that. So I've got my pole in my hand like that. And if I'm not holding, especially in the margins, and it's gone. I've lost a couple that way. Going out to the middle of the lake, turning up and going straight down. Lost a couple like that, but yeah, you do, mate. Adrian saying let the elastic work the fish, not not the fish work the elastic. You've still got to put a little bit on them. When I say a little bit, you sort of let the fish. Some of the bigger fish I find tend not to. They waddle about, the waddlers, and some of them don't even realise they've got a bloody. They're caught, and then when they do, you know about it. If you can control that fish on the initial run, where they go woof and they're off. If you can control them from that, you sort of you've almost got them then. And it's patience really as well. You can do. What I tended to do, Mike, was because I was a huge John Wilson fan when I was little. Mike said, "Look, I know you're reading it, guys, but I just do it so that you understand why I'm answering." Mike said, "I agree with. I think the elastic does most of the work on the pole, but on the rod, you've got to be totally ready for the big runs on the rods, else it's ping and it's lost." I used to be a massive John Wilson fan, so much that I copied his style because I thought it made me look like John Wilson. When I was a kid, on the estate by where I used to live, they'd built this pond in the middle of the estate, and everyone who lived on the estate could use it. So I'd be down there, I'd pinch half a loaf off my mum uh, in the summer holidays. I'd be out by 8 o'clock in the morning. She wouldn't see me till 8 o'clock at night, and I wouldn't be fishing all day necessarily, but I'd be down at the lake all day. So um, and I'd practice and practice and practice. And in those days, I didn't have a clutch on my reel. So what I used to do, I used to always leave the back wind on, and I'd used to keep my finger like John Wilson, like a trigger. I used to keep my finger on the reel, and then as soon as it started to run, I just let it go, and then I put me use my finger as a drag. So I agree what you're saying, but on modern reels now, really you should have that clutch set quite light, really, and then when you're bringing them in, still keep it quite light. So if they want to take it away, they can. Um, Right, right. I would not use the micros. The only reason I use the micros, Adrian, if I was in a match, I wouldn't use the micros. But because I was fishing, like pleasure fishing, what I was thinking to myself was because I got some lovely roach as well, mate. Oh, some cracking roach, lovely roach, and a small tatty looking chub as well. I had, but the reason I did it is because I wanted a cloud to go through the water and then hit the bottom. I wanted some stuff on the bottom because I was thinking to myself, this is going to stop in a minute. It's going to slow down, and then I'm going to have to go on the bottom again. Normally, I only ever set up three top kits. Don't have loads and loads of top kits. I normally have one that I set to a depth, and I never fish too far out unless I can get to a snake lake, like on the video. If I can get to the other bank, I will. But I tend to have a margin set up. I tend to have an intermediate of 2, 3 foot, and then I have a whatever the depth is at 5 meters, 6 meters. So 3, 5, 6. Slap the rig 3 times. Yeah. That's what I was told to do. But I'm too tight to throw six pellets at. And as I say, I've just got this thing that I think I'm a fish. Fish with the fish. I've just got this mental thing that I just think the rhythm of the three and the throwing in of the three and whatever. That's what I just think. So yeah, you do need to set especially on what's it now. You need to set a clutch. So on the hockey jockey. Yeah, that's the one, mate. It's called I think it was Leah's Crescent, I think it was, down that way. It was a cracking pool. They had Orf in there. When I was young, we used to try we used to try and catch them off. They were very difficult to catch. Because it was like a village pond, if you like. There was no real rules as such. You could have bread floating, you could have everything floating. It was like it's where I cut my teeth on trying things like remember the Orf that you used to try and catch them with with casters. We used to put Vaseline on the line. We used to have like a little bubble float that you'd half fill with water, and then you'd have a length of line, probably 6, 7 inches. You put a little bit of Vaseline on that line so it'd float, and then the what's it would float. And if you were lucky, you'd get one. But that was a long time ago. There's some nice perch in there as well. Micros do make sense pleasure fishing. I'll tell you for why as well, Adrian. You know yourself that a lot of commercials don't let you use. My voice again. A lot of commercials don't let you, excuse me, use ground bait, but they do say you can use their micros. So what I tend to do is, as you would in a if you were using micros on a uh, in a cage feeder or in a method feeder, you damp them so you can get it round. I damp them, but not overly so. So when I get there, I just cover the top, literally just cover the top, give them a good stir, and then that's it. I don't mess with them again. And then because that makes them a little bit tacky, I can make little tiny balls, and that's what I use to drop into the margins, or I make a little ball, drop it into my pole pot, and then just turn it if I don't want to make the noise. But yeah, because you can't use ground bait. And my view on this is, and I've said this on the videos as well, that when if it's a policy at a commercial to use their feeder pellets, my suggestion will always be use their feeder pellets, because it's what the fish know is food. It's what they've been brought up on. It's they're listening for that kind of noise, and they'll know the noise of that or the vibration of that food going in. So my view on it is, if that's what it is, that's what it is. And if you fish the same places quite often, I've got half bags for Willow Marsh, half bags for Huntington, half bags for Bell's Mill. So, in the end, it doesn't cost like vast amounts of money, but it just gives me that other option to give a freebie away with my bait, basically. So I know the chat is ahead of me. Right, I love the chat, as I'm always learning when you use micro baits. I probably would use micros, but in a different way. I'd use them, as I say, as a ball. I'd use them as a small ball in my pole pot, turn it so that it wasn't making noise, so I could get them hard on the bottom, unless they wanted to be up in the water. Um, I've got to be honest, mate. I'd try anything in a match. I'd try absolutely anything in a match. I do feel, and Adrian, you've probably got a view on this. I do think that some guys don't feed enough in matches. Some people overfeed. I've been on matches where I've seen people come in and straight away they'll have like I've got a big pole cup, which is probably about half the size of that. But they'll have like a pot like that. As soon as they get there, they'll just put it in the edge with corn, and then they'll do it again, and then they'll do it again and do it again. Um, you've got to hit them at happy medium, but I think I overfeed rather than underfeed. I'm more positive than negative when I fish. Right. What's your least favourite fish to catch? Oh, let's have a look. Yeah, Mike. I think probably I love perch. Yeah, I just jumping very quickly. Adrian's right. That I tend to use micros instead of ground bait. That's basically what I use it for. Um, as Seamus is asking, as Guardian Adventures is asking, what's your least favourite fish to catch? I think Mike's hit the nail on the head there with the small perch, because they do, and I hate it. I hate it when sometimes, because they swallow the hook. Sometimes it'll be through their eye, or do you know what I mean? And like you see them later on come up, so you think you've got the hook out safely, and then a bit later on, like you see them come up to the top. And I fish with small hooks. I literally done a video just about the hook sizes that I use. And I always start off with an 18 size 18 hook, which is tiny. Then I go to a 16, and my margin, or if I'm using a big bait, will be a 14. I don't use size 12 hooks. I just don't do it. So, um, and even on a size 18 sometimes. Uh, I have used size 20 hooks in the past on canals and stuff like that. And I did use one on the top pool at Huntington. I think it's called Mallard. And the smallest fish that I've ever caught, and I've only ever caught one, and that was a 3-spine stickleback I caught on a single red maggot. It was almost as big as him, to be honest. Right now, taking to feeding less after watching. Yeah, Jamie Hughes. Did you see not the latest one, because the latest one's with Andy May, I think. But the one with Jamie, and he was saying when he was fishing 5 meters or something like that, and he was saying that like he even just 1 or 2 pellets at a time. And as I say, that's sort of the system I was using at Bell's Mill, basically because I'd seen that video as well, Adrian. Excuse me. I'd seen that video as well, and so I was doing that, except for every now and again I'd throw a cloud of what's it saying? I don't know whether that's what brought the crucians up, to be honest. Yeah, eels. Yeah, I'm not a fan of eels. But has anyone seen the video of, there's a boy who's a proper eels fisherman, and there's a way of putting them to sleep almost, not in the vet term, where you bring them onto the bank and you turn them upside down and sort of do this with them, and they literally just stay still, almost like they go to sleep. So you turn them upside down and lie on the bank and do that, and they almost go to sleep. Apparently, it was on the video anyway. Could more lovely. Yeah, I do it, Adrian, with when I'm trying to show a carp on the video. What I tend to do is put my thumb in its mouth and turn it upside down. But you don't see that because it's in the net. Because I try not to. I try to hold them over the net, which is slightly different to obviously with a match fisherman. You just want to get them in your net. But I tend to put my thumb in its mouth, turn it upside down for about 5 seconds, then bring it up and show it to the camera. Hold it further away so the fish looks bigger. But no, there's. Don't you like taking the hook out, Mike? They bite as well. Eels do. They got teeth. They're a predator, aren't they? Eels. They're a predator cross dustman, really, I suppose. Yeah, it does. It does. Honestly, if I hold, I got a pole rig here. If I hold that pole rig there, you see it in all the. I tell you where I got it from. I got it from, like the magazines, Angler's Times, and that. If I hold that there, it doesn't look particularly good. But the closer I bring it to the camera, and I've only got to bring it a little bit, and it's like doubling in size, quadrupling in size, getting bigger and bigger. And in the end, it's bigger than my head. But do you see what I'm saying? So you hold it there, that could be a gudgeon. That could be a specimen gudgeon. But if I bring it there, that's an 8-pound perch. And that I see it an awful lot on the on the magazines and stuff. Yeah, all the carp anglers do it. They do it, mate. They do it. Yeah, they're 3 ounce eel. We used to call them. Uh, oh man, I used to fish by on the River Severn down at. I want to say the Red Lion. I don't know whether it is the Red Lion. I don't know if you guys can help me out, but it's the Red Lion. Anyway, and I remember getting inundated with eels, and we used to call them boot. That was it, bootstraps. We used to call them when they were really small. You could throw throw a slice of bread in and follow that slice of bread down with a little piece of bread, and like it'd be an eel on it. Yeah, they're really manoeuvrable, aren't they, eels? And like when you bring them out, especially the little ones, the bigger ones don't do it as much, but the little ones, they come up the line. How the bloody hell did they do that? How did they do that? Come up the line? But anyway, they do. So no. Oh, what a brilliant chat we're having, lads. Thanks for coming in. Absolutely great. Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Yeah, they do. They're horrible things. They are horrible things. People like catching them though, don't they? I remember Mick Brown, who used to fish a lot with what's it? He used to do it as well. Adrian, I really, really appreciate you coming in, mate. You've sort of helped out with the chat brilliantly. You've give it like the match dimension. So no, brilliant, brilliant. I'll be knocking on your door asking for help when I decide to do the match fishing ones. I think I'll probably do it in the winter, and then I can blame it on the cold, then can't I? So if I do rubbish, I can say, oh, it's too cold. It's too cold. Oh, thanks, Adrian. Try to get your brother to come in as well. That'd be brilliant. That would. So anyway, thanks very much for coming in, Adrian. We're down to I think we're down to three of us. Um, I'm going with oh yeah, mate. Imagine if you're coming over at all, if you know anywhere sort of over by me, and you're coming over, let me know, and I'll see if we can meet up. That'd be great. Absolutely great. I'd love to. I'd love to sort of get you on the film and whatever. You give me a few match tips. Because I say, totally. I tell you what, you'd have to give me tips on the banter because that's where I'd miss out. Because I'm shy and retiring, mate. So I wouldn't fit in at all. Mike, just to answer your question, going back on the rivers anytime soon. I am, mate. I'm there Wednesday with Seamus. Me and Seamus are doing a video together. So yeah, mate, it'd be great for the channels. Yeah. I tell you what, the biggest tip, Adrian, I can tell you, is just do it, mate. Rip it off like a band-aid. Just start talking to the camera. Be confident about what you're talking about, and just talk to the camera. I'm an expert in nothing, mate, but I love talking about it, as we all do. We all love. It's proof in the pudding with the conversation we've had today, mate. It's just strike up a conversation. Just think of the camera as like just one of you guys, one of us. That's what I do. Whenever I look at the camera, I just think, well, I'm talking to Seamus, or I'm talking to Steve, or I'm talking to Adrian, or Mike, or whatever. So I got to be honest, mate. Seamus just saying it's very kind of you, Seamus, to say you love this stream. I love this stream as well because I don't like the ones where it's all mad and it's all let's grow, let's. I mean, I like the fact that we can all look at each other's channels. The guys who are producing stuff, we can look at each other's channels and like we just have an idea of what kind of people you are and whatever. And it's just brilliant. Yeah, please check out Adrian's channel. Um, they, it's a cracking channel. As he's sort of said there, it's not really a turn and talk like I do. It's not like mental like what I do. But I just love it's like what do they call it? ASMR fishing. So you have like he has his titles come up, he has like subtitles coming up, just filling you in on what's going on with the match. He's concentrating him and his brother concentrating on the match. So really, you haven't really got time to talk to the camera, but it's a cracking channel. Please check it out, guys. Yeah, please check it out. And Adrian, check out Asgardian Adventures as well. Look for the one where he's dressed as Thor, the Bloody Fool. So that that's what I've been, Adrian. I've been accused of not doing that, of not giving it more information. Where I'm starting to do the hints and tips things on a Friday. When I'm setting up, I don't, I don't, I don't go. Oh, and I've got a 4x8 float with a carbon stem or what. Sometimes I'll do it because I do it when I'm thinking, well, this is working, and maybe someone might be able to get this from this, and this is why I've done this. But I don't tend to go, this is the rig. Um, Big Earn, you're going to see Big Earn soon, which is my long bubble tube, because I'm doing some videos on how to set up rigs and stuff like that. So, guys, we're at 1 hour 31. I think I'm going to knock it on the head there because Adrian's going. As Guardian Adventures, Seamus, you need to get up early because Athena will be knocking on your door wanting to do some filming. And Mike, thanks very much for coming in. Thanks very much, guys. I'm going to end the stream now, and I'll see you all real soon. Look out for the video. It's coming up on Sunday of Bell's Mill, and you'll see what we've been talking about with that. I don't really slap, to be honest, Adrian. I just flick it in. I don't slap because I didn't have the rig set up properly. It was basically one that I just made up on the bank. So good night, everybody. Absolutely brilliant. See you real soon. Great stuff. See you real soon. Adrian, I'll be checking out the most recent video because I really haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet, but I will do. Thank you very much, guys. See you soon. I'm going to end the stream now, and it's that awkward moment. Yes, I do want to end it. Bye, guys.